Hey y'all, Andrea from Andrea Speaks TV back to bring you more news and commentary you can use. Y'all, this is kind of a concerning story. And I wanted to make sure I got this information out to you as soon as possible. Please do your research on this, y'all. Listen, NASA, there are reports that NASA is warning that a solar storm may hit Earth tomorrow being November 25th. At the time of this video, it's November 24th. Listen, y'all, NASA is issuing a warning that the solar storm may hit Earth tomorrow as sunspots increase tenfold. Let's see what this is about, y'all. Now, according to my reports, the sun has suddenly become much more active, bursting with sunspots and sending plumes of hot plasma out into space. Okay, they're even saying that in the last week alone, sunspot numbers have increased by 10 times, dotting the sun's surface with black pock marks. Okay, I don't know what that is. Maybe you can do your research on that. I need to do my research. They're saying that black pock marks, POCKMARKS, are spewing out several coronal mass injections every day. Okay, they're even saying that one of these coronal mass injections, otherwise known as CMEs, may be due to hit the Earth in the coming days. Okay, that's according to a NASA model that they have shown, with one possibly due to collide with our magnetic field and atmosphere late on November 25th. Okay, this will be confirmed, okay, after scientists fully analyze the trajectories of the storms. Now, you're probably like me, you're wondering, okay, what is a coronal mass injection? According to my sources, there are huge clouds of solar plasma that are spat out of the sun in regions of high magnetic activity, which can include sunspots. Okay, now the sun, according to my sources, may also send out solar flares, which are bright bursts of electromagnetic energy. Okay, now here's a quote from an associate professor in astronomy and science communication at Nottingham Trent University in the UK, who told Newsweek, and I quote, that solar flares and CME are both caused by the sun through its magnetic field being twisted and stressed through motions in the sun. Okay, this associate professor also went on to say, and I quote, however, a solar flare is the immense release of light triggered by the snapping and rearranging of the magnetic fields on the sun that will go hand in hand typically with the release of CME, but it will take a day or more for the particles to arrive while the light and radiation reaches us in just over 8 minutes. Okay, this person concluded by saying that a good comparison is that a flare is the flash of a muzzle, while the CME is actually the cannonball traveling and possibly hitting us. Okay, now, according to this article, when the particles of CME hit the electromagnetic field and atmosphere, it can trigger a geomagnetic storm. Okay, now let's talk about what that is, y'all. Okay, according to the head of the solar physics group at a university in UK, who also told Newsweek, a geomagnetic storm occurs when the Earth's magnetic field is seriously disrupted by eruptions from the sun. Okay, this person, the head of the solar physics group, also went on to say that when a large plasma storm erupts from the sun, and that storm carries a magnetic field which is oriented in an opposite direction to Earth's magnetic field, we have a perfect storm and a larger geomagnetic storm. Okay, now, according to this article, geomagnetic storms vary in strength depending on the power of the CME that caused it, being measured on a scale between G1, which is minor, to G5, which is extreme. Okay, that's according to the NOAA. The most powerful of the storms are the least common, while there may be 1,700 G1 storms per 11-year solar cycle. We may only see 100 G4 storms and 4 G5 storms during that same period. Okay, the article also says that these geomagnetic storms can cause spectacular displays of aurora much further towards the equator than normal, with more powerful storms causing the northern lights to creep further and further south. Okay, this occurs, the article says, because charged particles in the Earth's atmosphere are influenced and disturbed by the solar plasma hitting us, subsequently reacting with gases like nitrogen and oxygen in the air and causing them to glow. Okay, here's another quote by an associate professor in space science at a university in Australia who said, and I quote, under quiet conditions, charged particles, both from the solar wind and the ionosphere can become trapped in the magnetosphere, happily bouncing from hemisphere to hemisphere, pole to pole. Under these circumstances, some of these charged particles will collide with upper atmospheric particles, causing auroras in the polar region. Okay. However, the article says when a CME hits and causes a geomagnetic storm, these particles are forced deeper into the atmosphere, causing them to react with more gases and cause the aurora to be brighter and visible further. Okay. You can, do your research on this and see some of the pictures that they're talking about. Okay. All right, y'all. You may be like me, and it may just take you a little bit of time to process this. I know these are a lot of like science terms, and you may need to do your research. But listen, the main thing is, okay, what are the expected impacts of all of this, right? Now, basically, according to the sources, okay, according to my news source, other than pretty lights in the sky, okay, a geomagnetic storm can also lead to some impacts on infrastructure, including fluctuations and outages in the power grid and radio blackouts. Okay, let me repeat that again because this is what I want you all to know. Okay, other than causing or creating pretty lights in the sky, okay, geomagnetic storms can also lead to some impacts on infrastructure, including fluctuations and outages in the power grid. Haven't we been talking about the power grid, y'all? And radio blackouts. Okay, here's a quote from, let me see if I can get this source. Okay, the same person, the associate professor, who said, and I quote, the affected infrastructure that is of most importance is large-scale power grids, without which modern society would not be able to function. Other than that, pipelines, high-frequency or HF radio, radar, and satellites in orbit are significantly affected, he said. Okay, pipelines, and this is a continued quote, and I quote, pipelines are known to also carry geomagnetically induced currents, which accelerates their corrosion. Satellites can experience increased surface charging due to the plasma environment in orbit, and this can affect the onboard electronics and operations of the satellite. Okay. Further, and this is where the article concludes, due to the huge amount of energy being dumped in the Earth's atmosphere during these big storms, the atmosphere actually swells, and this causes more satellite drag in low Earth orbit. Increased satellite drag further complicates efforts to keep track of everything in orbit and making sure that collisions don't take place. Okay, and I pray something like that doesn't happen. The really minor geomagnetic storm in February of 2022 that resulted in the loss of the majority of a Starlink deployment is a perfect example of how varying satellite drag can complicate space operations. Okay, so I'm not sharing this information with you all to scare you, but I just want you to know what NASA is predicting could possibly happen based on a model that they have shown. And so again, y'all, it sounds like, there could possibly be some disruptions to the power grid, which I've been saying for quite some time now, to make sure you have backup power. Radio blackouts, I'm not sure if this will have anything to do with cell phones. It could possibly affect your GPS. So if any of these things may seem to be out of whack, or if you start getting alerts from those companies, just know that NASA, okay, according to their models and predictions, they're projecting that there could very well be some type of solar storm, okay, or geomagnetic storm that could happen on November 25th or somewhere around that time, okay? Let me know your thoughts on this, y'all. What's going on? What is really behind all this? What is the cause of all this, okay? Let me know your thoughts. Please share what you know in the comments, okay? As always, thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I appreciate you all so much. Listen, y'all, I have merchandise, okay? Please check out the community tab. I have some links for Andrea Speaks TV merchandise. You can get t-shirt. I have a mug. You can drink, coffee in or whatever beverage you prefer while you listen to the broadcast or watch the broadcast. I even have a journal, y'all. You can take notes as I share information with you all, or you have some ideas. You can write them in your Andrea Speaks TV journal, your notebook. What else, y'all? I think I have water bottle and also a bag. So please make sure you check those out on the channel. At the time of this video, I am running a Black Friday special, which the special ends at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday, November 26th. You can take 15% off, okay? 15% off Andrea Speaks TV merchandise by using the code Black Friday 23, okay? Listen, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll talk to you all soon in the next video, okay? Take care.